Let me just start. For those who don't know me, this is Boitumelo Mosenogi. I'm originally from Mafikeng, the Northwest, based in Pretoria. I'm a single mother of one daughter. I'm also an entrepreneur. I sell Forever Living products for those who know them. I'm pursuing my honors degree at the moment, and I'm full-time employed. So I have a lot on my hands. So I've actually communicated why I wanted to do this. I wanted to gather us ladies, whereby we'll be sitting together and talking about our life experiences, about the things that we go through, and sharing ways of how we can overcome those challenges that we face. Also just listening, lending an ear, because sometimes all we need is an ear. Sometimes we don't necessarily need advice, we don't need money, we just need people to listen to us, let alone guide, if they can guide and if that's what we're looking for. So I was trying to create a platform where us women can come together, and obviously in this day and age, technology makes it easier. Some people I know, they want physical meetings, but I mean, when I'm in Pretoria and you're in Mafikeng or you're in Durban or in Cape Town, the only way we are able to meet easily is online. So I was creating that platform. The first session that we were supposed to have was in December. It didn't happen because, like, on that day I was alone. It was on Zoom. I had sent out a Zoom invite, but I was alone. So today I thought, okay, let's do a Facebook Live. I've found out that you can actually do a live within a group, within a closed setting, because that's what I actually wanted to do. I wanted to create a platform where we can have a private session and talk. Because there are platforms, there's places like TikTok where everybody can join your conversation. But I created this group and I made it a private group. So when you want to join the group, you obviously send a request and then we accept the request, or you show interest and we send you an invite. So everybody who's been in here has been invited by me, many of you, and some people I know, they've been invited by Sis Paulina, which I really appreciate, Sis Paulina, that you are growing this group and helping other women to get together and talk and build each other. So I had requested suggestions of topics that we can cover today. I know I got the one topic. It wasn't really a topic, where Nongu told us last week Sunday about the word that was preached at church, about where the preacher was saying, do you have friends that you can really trust, that when you're gone they will take care of your kids, or they will make your kids' lives better or manageable, or where can she rely on you, And yeah, I thought that was really quite deep, because that is a serious question, and I know a lot of people ask that question to say, who can you trust? Do you have people in your circle who you can really trust, who you can pick up your phone when you are in trouble or when you need assistance, and they will come through for you? It is a question that I know Uz Kumba, the comedian, the radio DJ, has asked also. And that kind of needs a self-introspection also, because I turned it around and said, but are you that type of a person also? Are you that kind of a person? Can you be relied on by your circle or your friends or whoever to say you will be they can rely on you also? Because we tend to want things that we ourselves are not able to give other people. So we expect people to be certain things to us, but we fail to be that to other people. That was the only submission that I got, and but I had already thought about something, which is what we're going to talk about today, which is trusting yourself to make the right decisions. So I know we all struggle about the kind of decisions that we make, or making decisions at all. This is a human thing. This is a not necessarily a woman thing. Even I think men also have this thing. I'm not gonna talk about men, but it's generally a human being thing. So we are faced with decisions every day in our lives, whether you're married or not. As women, we are faced with making decisions every day. And sometimes we doubt ourselves, we doubt the decisions that we are supposed to take, or we doubt ourselves that we would be able to make the right decisions. We don't trust ourselves to be making the right decisions. But every day we are faced with making decisions. Sometimes we take long to make decisions because we don't trust ourselves that we'll make the right decisions. Sometimes we actually don't make decisions at all, and a decision not to make a decision is also a decision. So, how do we get ourselves to trust ourselves to make the right decisions? I think the first thing would be to ask yourself, why don't you trust yourself? Before we even think about how you can trust yourself, what makes you not trust yourself? And I thought of two things. I thought of fear of being judged. Before you make a decision, you are faced with the situation where you need to make a decision. But instead of looking at the pros and cons of that particular situation that you're about to get yourself into, instead of focusing on that, we focus on what are people going to say? What will my friends say? What will my colleagues say? What will my parents say? We focus on abantu bazothini. We fear being judged. We fear people looking at us and thinking a certain way about us because of this decision that you are taking. And unfortunately, it's your life. Abantu bazothini never gets anyone anyway, because your life, your responsibility for your life is just based on you. What other people think, yes, they may advise, they may think a certain way, because anyway, people think will always have something to say whether you're doing good or not, whether you're doing something that they would like to do also, they will still judge. So judgment will always be there. So if you're going to be judged on your decision, that is fine. People don't even have to understand why you're making such decisions. You don't even have to convince people. You don't even have to explain yourself to people, because this is your life. You know what you like, you know what your vision is, you know what your dreams are, you know the things that you want to achieve, you know the things that you don't like, you know the things that you don't want to go through. So your decision remains your decision. whether people are going to judge you or not, because people will always judge anyway. So at the end of the day, whether they judge you or they don't is neither here nor there. The second thing that I thought about is the fear of failure. Being afraid of failing. To say, I have a decision to make, I have a choice to make. What if I fail? Perhaps it's because you failed before. You tried something before and you failed. Sometimes it's perhaps because you lack your self-worth, your self-esteem is very low, maybe because you have been criticized before, maybe it's because of your imposter syndrome, where you don't trust your abilities. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, but you lack self-esteem because you don't think you are capable or you will be able to fulfill what is required on that decision. Once you've taken that decision, there are certain things that you need to do now to prove yourself. And now you are not trusting yourself that you can do it. So then you fear, what if I fail? What if I'm not capable of this thing? And I find that also is a deterrent for us to trust ourselves. It makes you not even make a decision because fear paralyzes. Sometimes fear paralyzes. Because instead of us using fear to build ourselves, to motivate us, to fuel us, it paralyzes us. The third thing, I said two things, but this one I need to mention. This thing of wanting to be perfect, perfectionism. Perfectionism prevents us from trusting ourselves. It's the same as almost like a fear of failure, because you feel like things are supposed to be working a certain way and now they're not working that way, or what if it's not exactly as I think it's supposed to be. You want things to be so perfect, and unfortunately life is not perfect. Life has its own roses and thorns, like a rose. That's actually what life is like. It's a tree of these beautiful flowers. We know they are roses. They come in different colors: red, white, pink, yellow. But the stem has got thorns. So you need to be careful how do you deal with, how you handle those stems, because if you are not careful, you're going to prick your finger, And people who work with those things anyway, they know that is why they wear these thick gloves, because they know you need to prepare yourself for those thorns, just like you have to prepare yourself for those not so good moments in life, because life is not perfect. So if you're going to always look for perfectionism, you're always going to be disappointed. You're going to live a miserable life, because no one, nothing, no situation, even yourself, you are not perfect. So searching for perfectionism only leads to disappointment. So every time you look for perfectionism and you don't see it, then you lose trust in yourself, in the kind of decisions that you make. Sometimes you take long to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And so because that is not a perfect situation, you start looking down on yourself when you're supposed to make decisions. You look down on yourself and say, I'm not good at making decisions. I always make wrong decisions. Can't you know? This is just part of the process. Sometimes we overthink things also. We overthink the things, and most of the time, after you have actually made the decision, after some time you look back and you ask yourself, what was I worried about? because you will sit thinking about this thing so much that you end up not taking action at all, because you're also afraid of making the wrong decision. So you sit there, you overthink the situation. What if this is not where I'm supposed to go? Um what if the situation that I'm in right now is going to change without me taking any action? Until you just sit and not take action because you don't trust yourself. So overthinking also steals that from us, because we end up not making any decision at all because we don't trust ourselves. So the other thing that I want to say is that we must always expect ups and downs. That's life. Life comes with the ups, it comes with the downs. It comes with the downs. The downs are part of the problem. It's like in economics when you talk about the cyclical economic cycle. The economic cycle means it goes up, the graph goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. That's how it is. Life is like that as well. You get those moments where life is good, it feels good, and then you get those tough moments where it looks like everything is falling apart, but you're the same person. That doesn't mean life is ending. It just means that the tide is changing, and then it changes again. The graph goes up. That is part of life. So expect that there will always be the ups and there will be the downs. Just because there are ups and downs, it doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you. That is just how this life is designed. Even in the Bible, they talk about the different seasons. They talk about the 7 years of famine, the 7 years of plenty. Meaning you will get moments where it's bad, it's bleak. That is why they say, even in the Bible, they say, when is the years of plenty, you need to fill your barns so that during the days of famine, you don't struggle. You can still feed your family. You can still feed yourself. So life does have ups and downs, and we actually need to expect them. So when the downs are happening, you need to ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? Why is this happening? What am I supposed to learn from this? Because it's part of the process. And just because the downs are there doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your decision making. Like I'm saying, decision making has everything to do with where you want to go. You know where you want to go. You know your vision, you know your mission, you know your goals, you know your dreams. So the decisions that you make should be in line with that. This decision that I'm making, is it getting me closer to my goal? Is it getting me closer to my dreams? Nothing else. Not that, oh my God, what if they judge me? Oh my God, what if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, you will learn something. You would have, I like to say that you would have also learned something. You would have picked up some skills that you didn't have. Because as you are working towards this thing that you want to achieve, you are obviously doing something. You are learning new skills. You are looking at different knowledge that you didn't have. You're reading different books. You're watching different videos. You are discovering people that have done this thing that you want to do that you didn't know before. So if it doesn't work, it's not like it's all doom and gloom, because you've learned something. There's some new knowledge that you got. There's some new skills that you got that you didn't have before you started trying this thing. So in as much as you may never give up, you may not give up and work towards this thing no matter what until you reach it. Some people, yes, they will decide, you know what, this is definitely not for me. I tried, I gave it my best, it's not working. And they will give up along the way. But even if you do give up along the way, there will be something that you picked up, some new knowledge, something that will get you closer to your dreams. So I've said a mouthful. I think I've spoken for about 25 minutes. I was hoping that somebody would have been joining me now so that we can have a conversation, that I could actually add you to the live and we can talk, and share some insights about this, share some experiences about this. Because the lack of decision making is actually derailing us from reaching our goals. If we could just trust ourselves and take the step, make the decision, trust yourself. You know yourself, you are capable. Trust yourself that I'm capable of this. I'm equipped. I've got the knowledge. I've got the skills to do this. So I have nothing to fear. It's like they say, when they throw you in the deep end, you learn to swim. You learn to swim. Either you learn to swim or you drown. But you are forced to learn to swim. Find yourself a way of surviving in the deep end. Because sometimes they will ask you nicely and say, no, go inside the pool. Say, no, I don't know how to swim. No, I can't do this. No, I'm not capable. No, I'm not ready. Somebody throws you into this thing, and then you have to find a way of making it work. Find a way of actually getting the results. So, yeah, that's what decision making is about. That's what taking decisions is about. It's like when I came to Pretoria with just a bag of clothes. I could have said, no, I have no place to stay. No, I don't have money for rent. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I don't have money for transport. But sometimes you just gotta just throw yourself in there. Whether it works out or it doesn't work out, you'll never know. But what if it works? Because now I always say, what if it works? What if it works? And the more you learn to make decisions, the more you're going to trust yourself in making decisions. The more you decide that I'm doing this, the more you will trust yourself. Yeah, so I think I've said enough. Since I'm alone, I'm gonna stop here. And I hope you catch up, and I hope you tell me what you think about this topic, and how you've dealt with it in your life, how making decisions or trusting yourself to make the right decisions. Because sometimes, even if it's not the right decisions, but we need to learn to take decisions. Because if you're not taking decisions, you're not growing, you're not going anywhere, you're not achieving anything. Your life is not changing. You are stagnant. You are standing in the same place. You're not growing. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna end. Happy Sunday. Remember that we're having this on the last Sunday of each month. I think I'm gonna continue with the Facebook Lives because it does allow to add guests. Actually, I didn't know that. So we can have a conversation. A number of us can have a conversation in the live. It doesn't just have to be me. Can add one person and we can talk, just like I want it to be. Unlike doing Zoom, because Zoom, you have to pay for Zoom for sessions that are over 40 minutes. So going forward, I think I'm thinking that going forward we will have sessions that maybe take 40 minutes. So it's not really advisable to go into Zoom, and some people maybe they don't prefer Zoom. Everybody who's in this group obviously has Facebook. The only thing is that they need to make time to attend the session or to catch up. So yeah, good evening, ladies. See you. See you on Facebook. See you on this session in a month's time. Love you.